woods and hungry. I spend every Sunday just living good. Might do a little fishing, a little hunting on the weekend. With a bow I'll be sneaking back in the woods. A little bit crazy, every now and then maybe. Like to kick off my boots and get lazy, but I'm living good, yeah. Hey, I'm living good. Just a redneck Robin Hood. Hey, I'm living good. Back in the woods. Less than a mile or so to the end of the dirt road, there's a place us country folk go to have a good time, yeah. Keg of beer and a bonfire, locking hubs on a mud tire, jumping rabbits through the barbed wire by the moonshine still. Down by the river bend, living life like it should have been, praying these days won't ever end, 'cause we're living good, yeah. Hey, we're living good. A bunch of redneck Robin Hoods. Bunch of redneck Robin Hoods. Hey, we're living good. Back in the woods. Back in the woods. Back in the woods.
Okay guys, well I've had a lot of people ask me lately about my EDC and about my leather pouch. And EDC, in case you're unfamiliar with that, stands for everyday carry. I have seen questions about that in the past. And everyday carry means, what do you carry with you all the time that can help affect your survivability? And for me, depending on what I'm doing at the time, like right now I'm trying to practice more primitive skills. I'm trying to do a lot of experimental archaeology, so I'm carrying tools that more conform to those eras in time, like frontier days. But I can pretty much get along, you know, pretty well with what I've got, because I've always been a big believer in the fact that if you're dressed properly for the weather and you've got your cover taken care of and you've got a good cutting tool and you can make fire, that you can pretty well affect your survivability. The only other things you really need beyond that are a container and cordage. So what I carry with me is, I carry the Pathfinder knife, which is the PLS-K1. This sheath was custom made by Abram Elias. Knife is made by Blind Horse Knives. The Pathfinder trade knife would be just as good a choice in my opinion. I have a belt pouch here that was custom made, leather. I cannot tell you the maker of this belt pouch upon his request. He doesn't want to be inundated with orders because he just does this for fun. He doesn't do it for a living. It's made out of probably some type of thick elk hide or possibly buffalo. Has a black crow sitting in a tree against a moon. And inside basically is more or less a fire kit. I have some tinder fungus in here, which I used to start fires with. I have a small Altoids tin that I use for making char cloth. I have a flint and steel set in a buffalo container, and in the back of that flint and steel set there is a piece of lamp wick that's charred on the end that I can actually light up if I need to, and then just continue to light pieces off of it. And that's a pretty good little trick that you can use if you can keep it in a watertight container so it doesn't get wet on you. You can just strike that flint on there and continue to char that as you go, and it works pretty good. Fire's getting pretty hot here. We just started. Okay, beyond that, you know, the next thing that I have, and it's probably one of my favorite pieces of gear next to my knife, is my burning lens or magnifying glass. I've started more fires with this magnifying glass than I can possibly tell you. Probably started more fires with a magnifying glass than any other method. The sun is a renewable resource. It doesn't take anything off my flint and steel or my ferrocerium rod or anything else. It doesn't take fluid out of my lighter to start a fire with this, and it's very easy. Okay, so the next thing I carry is a True Nord button compass. If I was going to carry a button compass, this is probably the only one I would carry. It is by True Nord. You can look him up on the internet. And then I've got a couple of extra gun flints in here for my flintlock. One that I napped out of chert here, and this one is an English gun flint. And then I have enough cordage in the bottom to effectively make a bow drill fire if I need to, or do some kind of repairs. So I do have some cordage on me, not near the amount of cordage I'd like to carry, but for an EDC, it's a pretty good amount. There's probably 25 yards there. And then I have a small ferrocerium rod. And all of that fits down this pouch very well and allows me to have just about all of the 5 C's of survivability with me all the time, obviously except a container. If I'm carrying some type of container on my body, which I usually am if I ever travel anywhere, I go out to the woods, then I'm pretty well covered with the 5 C's, just with this belt pouch and what I have on my person besides that. So I wanted to go over that with you guys today real quick. That is what would be considered my EDC. I also have a handmade cross around my neck that was made by Blind Horse Knives for me. Dan Coppins made this for me as a personal gift. It's made out of micarta. I have some micarta beads around it here, and it has a hole drilled through the cross for a ferrocerium rod, so I always have that extra fire on me all the time. All right guys, well I appreciate you joining me for another video here in the diary of the Tipi. I appreciate everything that you guys do for me. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your views. I appreciate everything you do for my family, for my school, for my business. I look forward to bringing you more videos just as soon as I can. Thank you very much.